There
Going
we are.
live. Hello, good morning, everyone. So welcome to our 11 a.m. focus. Okay, so hello, everyone, waving from us. So nice to meet you. My name is Lisa. So I am one of our teachers here at MIS Milano Meravigli. And also I'm joined here by Seth, who is down here. Seth, do you want to say hello?
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Seth from the United States, and also, as Lisa said, one of the teachers at Milano Meravigli, big school.
Exactly. Yeah, we've lots of teachers, as I'm sure you'll know. Hello, Lorenzo. Hello. Good morning to you too. Fantastic.
It's a happy
Okay,
hello.
so yeah.
Thank you.
So guys, and Michaela, hello, you're welcome. So guys, yeah, as we've said before in these webinars, we want it to be interactive. So we want, first of all, for you guys to say hi, tell us your name, also where you are, okay, where you are writing to us from. Hello, Julia. And hello,
Lots of
Serena.
people.
You're
Nice.
very welcome. Thank you for saying hello. And Francesco, fantastic. Hi, everybody. And Musa, good morning. Excellent. Okay, guys. So tell us where you are today. And yeah, so we want this to be interactive. We want you to write to us, ask us any questions, and we're going to be asking you some questions as well as we go through this. Okay, Julia, so you're from Parma. Excellent. That's fantastic. And we have David from Padua. Okay, Francesca.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Salerno. We've got all
Anna
of
from
Italy
Salerno.
here.
Amazing. We've got everyone all over.
Oh, and
all over the place.
Mauro was in the last lesson I just had. Oh gosh, everyone.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay.
We are all learning how to use these webinars, aren't we? Everyone, the teachers, the students, we're all getting good at this.
Exactly. They're following you from one webinar to another, Seth.
Yeah, good. I'm happy for that.
Okay, thank you so much. It's great to see we have a lot of people with us today. So just to let you know, okay, from Turin, okay, Francesca and Serena from Turin, and Eloisa, okay, sorry, Eloisa from Palermo. Okay, excellent. So for today, well, for this webinar, we're going to be looking at some false friends. Okay, Seth, what is a false friend? How would we explain a false friend?
Well, false friends are those annoying words that sound they sound the same in both languages. So when we hear them, we think that we know what the word means because it sounds like the word in our language, but in fact, the meaning is different.
Okay. So it's something that is maybe pretending to be one thing and actually it has another meaning.
Yes.
Okay. So if any of you have, I'm sure you've dealt with this before, false friends are very tricky. Okay, they're very tricky and they're something that take a lot of practice because naturally sometimes you say the false friend instead of the actual equivalent in English. So it's good to look through these and also to practice with these to try and remember them. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, okay, so identifying false friends. So practicing how to tell the difference when you come across a false friend, also how we use them correctly. Okay, so we're going to do some clarifications for you guys, maybe also giving you some tips on how to remember them. And then also just in general, some common errors that might happen. So when you are, for example, it happens a lot that sometimes we say something in English a little bit different from how you would say it in Italian. So sometimes you need to change the verb or to change, I don't know, the preposition, something like this. So trying to help with those errors that happen when you have direct translation. Okay, sometimes this happens. But yeah, Seth, what do you think? I think this is a really good thing to do just to help with kind of that accuracy, those common mistakes.
I agree. And especially error correction is always we call it, as teachers, we call it error detection. If you can see a sentence and recognize the error, it really can be a good sign for you as a student that you are, that this
Yeah.
grammar, that you're acquiring the grammar. I think I like this focus. I think it's really useful. The false friends are always useful to repeat another time, and it's a nice activity.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and I think that a lot of the time with false friends and with common mistakes, it's as students and as second, so speak language, know it already. You've probably come across it, but it's just reminding yourself that, oh, I need to say to take a picture instead of to make a picture or something like this. So
Mhm.
yeah, so it's those things that if you don't practice them for a while, you can forget. So I think it's good to do. Okay, so so we're going to do a bit of this, okay? So what I
Mhm.
want you guys to tell us, so to answer these questions in the comments, let us know about your own experiences. So for you guys, what false friends are the most difficult for you to remember? So I'm sure you've had some experience before with words that are maybe different in English, or also maybe have a false friend equivalent in Italian. So let us know. Or also, if you've made a mistake, tell us if you've made a mistake with false friends speaking in English. Please let us know. Or if you're still not sure what a false friend is, please let us know.
Mhm. I'm writing up a
Okay.
note for us, so maybe that can help
Yeah,
a bit. Um,
exactly. Just to clarify, because I know some people are maybe joining a little bit later. Fantastic. Okay, amazing. Yeah, because I find even some people who have a very advanced ability in English, that they still make those little mistakes with false friends sometimes because it's a habit. Have
mhm.
you had this experience, Seth?
Yeah, well, and even because these function in both directions, you know. So even as English speakers learning Italian, some of these words, uh, it's the same for us. And I know when I speak in Italian, I
Mm,
have some of the words that we're going to look at today. I make mistakes with when I'm speaking Italian, because our
exactly. It works both ways.
it works
It
both
works
ways.
both ways.
And oh, we're starting to have some
Okay.
people share a few. I'll put these up
Yeah,
and
we have some answers here.
ah,
Fantastic.
very nice. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very, very common. Okay. Yeah. So annoy. So to annoy. To annoy or to be annoying as well. Yeah, for sure. It's definitely very similar to noioso, but obviously the meaning of annoy is to irritate, being
Mhm.
irritating. Argument is, yeah, it's quite a confusing one as well because it's very different. So I think argument, like for example, obviously in Italian, when you say argument, it means a topic, okay, a topic of something or a subject that we're discussing. But in English, it means to have a verbal fight
Mhm.
with someone, a verbal fight.
Yeah.
So yeah, it can be difficult.
I think
It
with
can be very
argument too,
confusing.
the difficulty sometimes is in an academic situation, we might use argument as a topic. But
Yes,
in a
that's true.
formal situation, if I'm talking with my friends, we're just talking
Mm,
about something. But our teacher
yeah.
might say, today's argument is blah, blah, blah. But if my friend
Yes.
says to me, I had an argument with my friend, that's a fight. That's a fight.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. It's true. Yeah. So it really depends on the context and yeah, the situation as well. Because yeah, in a debate, they will debate an argument as well.
Mhm.
Wow, we have lots coming
We
in.
have a lot
Okay,
of
let me
them.
take a look
Yeah.
at some more.
I'm trying to pick the ones that I think are like these are nice ones. One of these has like someone wrote like three of them. So I'll put here. There's a
Yes.
few in there. Annoying and boring we talked about.
Yes.
Um oh, a
Oh,
camp or a field. That's interesting. Yeah, I've never thought of that one. For us, I don't think as an English speaker this would be a false friend. I don't think we would have trouble. But
yeah.
the field, so the field, the place, well, where we play sports, or a farmer who
Yeah,
plants
exactly. The
his
field where the
plants.
animals are.
But a
Mhm.
camp, the place where you do camping, the place where you put yourself for
Mhm.
the evening to pass the night. Yeah, that would be more of
It's
probably
actually
for an
interesting to
Italian
see
more
that.
difficult. Yeah, it is. And then actually, there's the
Hmm.
next one. This
Yeah.
one I am leaving to you, Lisa, because I always explain this horribly and leave everyone more confused than when we started.
I'm
That was
probably going
horrible
to
when
do
I
the
just
same
did
thing. No, it's okay. It's okay. Okay. So actually, a lot of the time, clarification when we use it. Because, example, you might say something like, "Oh, let's order pizza tonight." Actually, change my mind. Okay, so yeah, it's kind of like I changed my mind. Let's do this. But sometimes
Mhm.
native speakers, we would say something like, "I've actually been working hours this week." So to be honest, it's used strange ways, but I suppose the easiest one is actually when we are talking about when you change your mind about something, or maybe you've said the wrong
Mhm.
thing and you want to say, "Oh, actually, I was wrong. I was wrong about that." Whereas
Mhm.
obviously, yeah, presently, well, I we wouldn't I wouldn't use this word too much myself,
No, me
but
neither.
we
Me
I
neither.
suppose we are presently working, or we are presently on YouTube. It's like we are currently or at the moment online.
Mhm.
So it's like it's quite formal though. We wouldn't naturally say it.
Yeah, I agree.
Does that make
I
sense?
agree. And actually is a hard word because it can function, if we're thinking of Italian, it can function in lots of ways. But I agree that
Mm,
to change when you need to change your idea, that's probably, I would say, maybe, yeah, maybe one of the most common to say, I thought this, but actually this happened.
yeah,
That's probably one
yeah,
of the.
but I would say, as a native speaker right now, it's like I would talk to my friends and I would also say, "Oh, I'm actually going a bit stir crazy at the moment," being stuck inside. So we use it quite commonly to kind of, I guess, to emphasize something as well.
Mhm.
Kind of just in how we use it in a more colloquial way, I guess. I hope that doesn't confuse everything. Okay, let's look at some more of our answers.
Yeah, this one I
And yeah,
think, do we get into this in the
Fran-
lesson, I think, right?
we do, exactly. And I've come across this a lot with some of my friends and also students who are advanced natives, like advanced English speakers, and they still get these ones confused still. And they've been speaking English for years. So yeah, we will probably go into this, yeah, in more detail in the lesson, I think.
Right.
And Francesca, just I saw she said there that in the papers she's seen argument to speak about a topic. Yeah, exactly. So
Mhm.
it would be used. It would be used in more formal settings, as Seth said. An argument. So yeah, the argument for the debate or the argument that they're discussing in, I don't know, in the cabinet, talking about the government.
Right.
Okay. Do we want to take a look at any of the others that have come up? Maybe the ones we don't have in the lesson.
Well, this one I think is just always, I think at this level, hopefully, because you guys are a bit more advanced speakers, so parents now is probably one that you are not making that mistake anymore. But that how
Fingers
many
crossed.
how many parents does in English, how many parents does the normal, let's say, well, you have to have how many parents, at least from the beginning? Two.
Two?
Parents are two. Your mom and your
Two.
dad.
Okay. So yes, exactly. So parents, just remember two. Whereas relatives, you can have a lot of relatives,
Yeah. Do you have
especially
lots of
if you're.
relatives or a lot? Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Yeah, I was about to say I'm from a Catholic Irish family, so yeah, I have a lot of relatives.
Yeah.
A lot. Okay, amazing. And yeah, so sympathy, okay, terrific. Library, okay, really good.
Oh
Okay, we
yes.
have lots there. And then I want
Yeah. Go ahead.
mm,
Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I also want to ask guys, so kind of looking at question 3. So have you ever heard people making mistakes? So people like us making mistakes using false friends. So like we said, it goes both ways. So please let us know if you've ever had this experience of hearing someone say something and you realize they're getting confused. They're getting confused with another word, because it definitely can happen. For sure.
Yeah.
So
I'll
please let
tell,
us know if you've
because
had this experience.
what people maybe are thinking, I'll do a quick story that I have where I did this. I went once to Cremona, just outside of Milan, for a
Beautiful.
there was a festival, a sagra, the festival for in Cremona. They make a particular this specific type of candy, and so I went on the
I was there
weekend.
too.
So I went there for the weekend for this what's it called? Torrone, right? The candy.
Torrone, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's
I went.
basically what we would call nougat, but it's actually much, much better.
Yeah. Well, and I went to Cremona for this, and this is probably how this isn't quite false friend, but just the idea of using a word that sounds similar. So I went to Cremona, and when I came back from the weekend, my friends were asking me, Seth, my Italian friends, so we were speaking in Italian, and they said, "What did you do this weekend?" And I'm going to say a sentence in Italian because it will be funny for our Italians. I said, "Sono andato alla sagra dei terroni," and that word is this is how I learned that word, because my friend said, "No, no, 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 that is not the festival that you went to." And but so one letter that changed my sentence completely. And so then I learned the difference between the candy from Cremona and the offensive word for people from the South.
Oh, they love this story.
Yeah. I love South
Exactly.
Italy. I love South Italy.
Sometimes it can be just something simple like pronunciation changes completely what you say, unfortunately for us. But yeah, pronunciation and one letter. Okay, so Julia said she has had an experience at Starbucks. Okay, so actually I want to know, what was the confusion? What did they say? So tell us, what did they say? So what did they confuse? Because yeah, this can really easily happen. I know it's not really a false friend, but similar to you, Seth, I once was trying to explain about like having a helmet while on a scooter in Italian. And instead I said that they had waterfalls on the scooter.
Oh, yeah. Because casca is the helmet, right? And you called it the cascata.
Yeah.
Nice.
Exactly. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, we both have waterfalls on the scooter. I was like, sorry, what? Oh God. Yeah.
Language.
Okay, so guys, yeah, it's hard. And also, sorry, I saw there as well that someone mentioned canteen. That's actually a very good one that I've noticed in schools can be very confusing. The canteen.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the canteen, because obviously when we say canteen, or we talk about, does your office have a canteen, it's like a place to get food or also to have your lunch. Whereas obviously the false friend with that is probably the basement. The basement. Am I right?
Well, because when I think of canteen, and I think this probably gets into some different Englishes, because for me a canteen is also like a thing for water.
Oh, okay, right. So that's American English as well. Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard that before. Yeah, the water canteen as well.
Yeah, and so I think I would, if for me, like canteen is either, and I think of like military. I think of this as a military word, like a water canteen. But the canteen in American military English, so not regular usage, can also be the place where the soldiers eat.
Yeah,
So
but we would also
not used very often in that way. So
okay, probably this is more British English then, because we would have like the work canteen. It's the place where you get food, or you can get lunch. Like they have that service there. Whereas obviously the false friend is the cantina, which is like the basement in the house. Okay, Julia has told us here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so one friend of mine from a town near London ordered a cup of latte. Thinking,
a latte. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's that can happen, I can imagine. So remember just there thinking of a cup of coffee. Thinking of a cup of coffee. But they gave her a cup of milk.
Yeah, because in English, if we just say I'll have a latte, that's a cafe latte, so coffee with milk. But it's very normal for us just to say, "Do you want a latte?" And that's all.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's fun.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In Italian, that is indeed a glass of milk. So
exactly. And Julia has just put a correction there. They gave her they gave her a cup of milk. And then Serena has said, so can we bring that up? A candidate. Okay, so in this case, a candidate. Who is the candidate?
Yeah, that could mean different things.
Yeah, it's like for presidency. A candidate of mine said he is sensible. They diplomat because he is similar to. Confused by. Seth.
Well, sensible is okay. So a candidate. So you did right here. So your candidate. Good word then. So someone who was being selected to do something. Said he.
Okay.
But this sensible does mean reasonable. So if the person said they were sensible, that would be correct. If you mean it in the sense of ragionevole, reasonable, it's sensitive where the difficulty comes in.
Yeah, so that's what I was wondering. Is he sensitive about saying something in particular, or is it that he's sensible? Like I can read this in two ways.
Okay. Oh, in Italian he said sensibile. Okay. Confusion.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, that's where we were getting confused.
Okay. Yeah. So so the person used the wrong word. And Francesca. There's a nice one. I love food, false friends.
Yeah, and they're very common. Okay, pepperoni, thinking about salami. Okay, salami. Okay, yeah, exactly. That is true. Because it's very confusing for people, and even when I have friends visiting here, I have to explain to them pepperoni is not like it's not salami, it's peppers and it's vegetable.
These words now at this point, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore because my brain goes English, Italian, English. I just try and find different words.
It's true. But yeah, it's a very American thing, I think, to have pepperoni as like the salami on the pizza, pepperoni pizza.
It's my favorite.
Yeah. Whereas now we know ourselves diavola. It's
my
just diavola.
Diavola, yeah.
Okay, so guys, thank you. This is great to hear your stories. So I want to move on now to looking at some marketing blunders. Okay, so if anyone doesn't know what a blunder is, okay, so if I say I made a blunder, it's the same as saying I made a mistake. Okay, I made a mistake. So a blunder is like usually probably when someone makes a mistake that is very embarrassing. Okay, very embarrassing. For example, if I was giving a presentation and I made a blunder, I would probably said the wrong thing or forgotten what I was supposed to say. So yeah, it's quite an embarrassing mistake, a blunder. So you often see this in headlines. I think in England, especially, they will sometimes say about, I don't know, somebody making a blunder in saying something in government or during an interview. So something like this. Seth, is there any different way this is used in America, or is it the same?
No, and yeah, and yours was really, I think, especially an embarrassing mistake. You gave a beautiful description.
Yeah, for sure. It's always to do with embarrassing mistakes. So, because the reason we have this as well is because sometimes when a company is translating into another language, their advert or what they're posting, sometimes they can get confused. So this is just an example of this, okay? An example of the mass confusion. So, is to do while we're going to read this, okay? To read this is about bedding. So what I want you guys to do is to spot. So tell us the mistakes, the blunders you can see in this, okay? So write to us while we're reading. Where are the blunders? So as Seth had said earlier, we're looking for you guys to do the identification of this, okay? So to practice detection of false friends. So, new bedding. Is your bedroom annoying? It's time for new bedding. Come down to our store today to try our ultra morbid new fabric. It is brave for sensible skin.
How interesting
Makes
this
sense,
bedding
right?
sounds. How interesting this bedding sounds.
I know, right? So guys, tell us, where are the false friends, or why does this not make sense?
I think, how many? There are 4, aren't there? I think there are 4 mistakes. I find 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Yes, there are 4. Sorry, there are 4. I didn't spot one. There are 4.
Oh, and here we start to have, let's see. So, very nice. So morbid,
Julia,
and we even have Julia saying not morbid, but soft. Brave, exactly. I will be honest, I don't find I hear many Italians making this as a mistake, though. Do you? Brave and good.
No.
I don't usually have people,
like, I think,
but it's interesting that it's different.
I feel first starting, so maybe sometimes, like, people don't really make the mistake, but sometimes they identify that, okay, this is different. But yeah, I think it's more of a watch out for people. Annoying, fantastic, sensible, amazing. I think we've got them all.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. So yeah, so let's take a look at the version. Okay, so like you guys said there. Okay, so annoyed, brave, and okay, this doesn't make sense. But if we change them, it makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, so is your bedroom boring? Okay, soft new fabric, good for sensitive skin. Okay.
And I think an interesting thing, because like morbid happens pretty often. I hear that one pretty often from people. And it's important to know, though, that in English, morbid is a word with a very different meaning. Morbid
completely
is a
different.
Word that morbid is a word that it's almost like relating to death, like something something gory, something that's not nice to look at. When we hear it most often is if you have a disease that can kill you, then that disease that we talk about, it's a word that gets used most in like medical situations, but like right now with the coronavirus, they're talking about morbidity. And so morbidity, it has to do with death. So it's coming from like morto, like death. So if you say that in this case, if your bed is morbid, I would say, well, get out of that bedroom. That bed is going to kill you. So morbid is
Exactly.
not, it's a very interesting thing for us as English speakers when people talk about something being morbid, because we don't want that thing near us.
Okay, so
Davide.
we have a good question there from Davide. Okay, so straight away, does morbid also mean stalker? No. No, but I think what you're thinking of there, which is a good, I think you've probably heard this before, maybe a creep, maybe, because when we say, sometimes we say something is creepy, it's like scary. Okay, and sometimes a stalker can be a creep. So because I think sometimes creepy and morbid can get a bit confused.
Well, and I could see maybe in a situation, if you were talking about stalkers, which is not a nice situation to talk about, someone might say, oh my gosh, that's morbid, that's creepy.
Yes, that's true. That's true. You could say it maybe in that way. We just wouldn't use morbid as a person, to say the person, like, I don't know, I suppose you just wouldn't say stalker is equivalent to morbid. Okay, Barbara asked, can a person be morbid? Yes, because a person can be morbid if they're speaking a lot about, death, about the worst things that can happen. People might say, don't be so morbid. Wouldn't you say that sometimes, Seth?
Yeah,
don't
well, like
be so
even
morbid.
right now, again, I'm using coronavirus because it's all around us. But if you have, like my mother right now, when she calls me every day, and the only thing she wants to find out is how difficult life is in Italy and is everyone dying.
Yes.
And I say, Mom, don't be so morbid. Like, stop. It's not,
exactly.
It's not helping anyone. So
we could say that maybe when someone is being morbid, they're talking a lot about death. Like my friend who is like the death announcer in our group, and she's always like, "Did you hear who died?" And it's like, "Shut up."
Michaela did this okay, so this is why.
Yeah.
So there's this other, maybe this is the connection. So Davide, you said a morbid person. So in English, it's a little different. It is a little different.
Okay.
The situation of talking about stalking is maybe morbid because it's not nice, but it's creepy. I think that's a really good equivalent, is creepy.
Yeah. I think creepy probably we would use more, and sometimes it's quite colloquial that we would say someone who is a stalker, or maybe, I don't know, says inappropriate things consistently, that they're a creep.
Yeah.
A creep. But French elements are morbid in this period.
I think every yes.
Yeah. This just one thing actually to note, I guess, truly, we would probably, instead of in this period, we would say at the moment. Would say all my relatives are morbid at the moment. Okay, just as a native speaker. Okay, instead of saying that. Okay, fantastic, guys. This is excellent. So thank you for your comments, and it's really interesting to hear also your side of it, from kind of being Italian speakers. Okay, so take a look at a bit more on this. Books for rent. So do you want to read this one, Seth? And guys, as we said, so let us know, spot the false friends, and let us know what is wrong with this as Seth's reading.
Yeah. Okay. So, house for rent. Lovely factory house for rent. There is a small kitchen, a living camera, and dining camera on the first floor, and the second floor has 2 bedrooms. The location is quiet with hardly any rumor. It is close to the public bookshop and perfect for a young family.
Okay. See, it makes so much sense.
It's difficult to read because it's strange.
Yeah. it hurts. It physically hurts us to read it. Okay. So
This
guys,
one
tell
again, I
us
think
your
has four.
false
Yeah.
friends.
Oh yeah, and here they're coming. Here they come. Here they come.
Fantastic. Wow. Okay, everyone's getting involved. I love this. Amazing. Okay, so yeah, a factory is, yeah, it's a place where, so we wouldn't say it's an industry, but it's a place where they do industrial work, or they make something. Okay, so yeah, factory, camera, rumor.
They're all over.
Okay. Bookshop, fantastic. Okay, bookshop instead of library, brilliant. Okay. Or sorry, in this case, we would say the opposite. So we have bookshop. We want to say public library, because remember, a library is the one that's open to the public. A bookshop is where you buy books to keep. Okay. Rumor. Okay, amazing. So yeah, that's exactly
I noticed
it.
though that so many people identified rumor, but what is the proper word in English? What should rumor be?
Yeah, does anyone know? This will come back in a second.
It's like, oh my God.
it did this yesterday. Like, there we are. Okay. Okay, so
there it is.
the correct word instead of factory. Okay, the correct word instead of factory is farm. Just I saw that question there. Is farm.
Oh goodness, sorry. I'm clicking on
and
the
then
wrong things.
I know it's when the chat moves, it's hard. So guys, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, sorry. Your question was, what is the right word for rumor?
And now I see a few people have been writing it.
Yeah.
Noise. Remember that. So some people put Francesca. So noisy is the adjective, right? So like, you know, the street is a noisy street, but near my apartment there is hardly any noise.
Exactly. So yeah, whereas a rumor is a form of gossip. Okay, it's a type, maybe a piece of gossip that you hear in English. So yeah, any noise. And just back to the question about factory. So in this case, it's because farm is a false friend as well with factory. Because sometimes we will say about a house in the country, in England, for example, or America, it's a lovely farmhouse. Okay, because it's maybe a house where it's surrounded by the farm. Okay. Oh, and guys, I always say on these webinars, please do not apologize. Okay, do not apologize when you make mistakes. That's what we're here for. You're helping us to stay sane and giving us things to do.
Hopefully, we're doing the same for you.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, so yeah, so just to know as well questions or any confusion, but yeah, this should be lovely farmhouse, living room, dining room, any noise, and then public library. Okay.
I was just thinking, you just used another false friend, sane.
You're right. You're totally right. Sane. Yeah.
So
Very
Lisa
good.
said you're keeping us sane,
yeah.
which is kind of interesting. Sane or insane is the opposite, which have
sanity.
A different meaning. Yeah, sanity, but it's a false friend in Italian.
Yeah.
Sane or insane have to do with.
That's true, actually.
Being crazy. So
yeah,
if you are sane,
exactly.
you are not crazy, right?
Yeah, you're normal. So yeah, so when I say you're keeping us, yeah, exactly, you're keeping us sane, you're keeping us from going crazy. So like everyone who is restricted to staying at home at the moment, you're trying to stay sane. You're trying to stay level-headed. Okay, level-headed. Exactly. So yeah, sane is the opposite to insane. So it's it's where we all want to be. We all want to be sane. And Geordie says they're truly British apologizing. That's true. It's like it's such a typical British thing that you apologize for something when it's not necessary. Okay, so I'm gonna move on here. So I think, to be honest, we'll just go through this because it's going to be crazy if you guys try to match the opposites in the chat. But I think we'll just go through them and talk about maybe the more confusing ones. Like we said, sensible and sensitive. Maybe we can talk about them a little bit more. Here is who is my false friend? I said earlier. Mm-hmm. So Seth, the false friend for good is?
I have to look. Is brave.
I know, there's a lot of words. Exactly. Perfect. Then soft.
Soft was morbid. Goodness, it's true that now that I live here in Italy, when I see morbid, I go like this. I think of, oh, exactly. I am teaching Italians for too long. Let's see. So noise.
It happens. Yeah. Noise.
Oh yeah, Lorenzo got this one for us. Thank you, Lorenzo.
Okay,
if they give it to us, I'm gonna let them do it, right? Yeah. Farm.
Okay, perfect.
Go ahead, you guys. If you know it, type them. Farm becomes factory, right? Yeah, Anna gave us this one. Book
exactly.
Shop.
Perfect.
Oh yeah, here they come.
Amazing.
Everyone's going. Everyone's sharing. Bookshop.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. All of the bookshops are closed, as well as the libraries.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sensitive. This one.
We will explain, I think, in better detail. Yeah.
Yes.
Sensitive, sensible. Okay.
Room. This one we saw before. So room and the camera. Where's my phone camera? There it is.
Exactly. Excellent.
And
then the
boring,
last one, very difficult.
Boring and annoying.
Annoying.
This one I find too, like everyone knows the difference, but people make the mistake, even really good Italian speakers, because it's so close to your language. So it's really one just to, you know that it's there, but you're probably going to make the mistake. You have to really just remember that one.
Yeah. Exactly. It's one of those ones I find people say it, and sometimes if they're saying it in between telling a story, they don't notice, or it's just one to look out for, to kind of remind yourself, okay, be careful with it, because you probably will make the mistake, but self-correction, that forms the habit. That forms the habit of getting it right. So just a bit more, because we didn't talk about this much, just about sensitive and sensible. I might just give a quick explanation with 2 examples, because sensitive. So if we talk about someone having a sensitivity, so for example, I am sensitive to dairy. Okay, I'm sensitive to dairy. So that's what means I have maybe an intolerance or something that maybe I have a reaction to something. Okay, sensitive. So when we use this, and also a person who's sensitive. Yeah, exactly. So Anna, very good. So it's for the body, and it can also be a person who's sensitive. Can be it can be about emotions, emotions as well. A person who's sensitive maybe get upset easily. Okay, they get upset easily. So in this, whereas sensible is more about like, okay, being practical, being being a bit a bit more.
It's like reasonable,
kind of
right?
Through. You're very logical. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah, very reasonable, very practical, very logical. Okay, guys, so before we move on, do you have any questions or any confusion on these? Please let us know.
Yeah, send us your questions.
Okay, because I think for the last few minutes, we can look at the common mistakes.
Oh yeah, so
Okay.
like empathetic. I think is the word you're looking for. If
Empathetic.
someone is someone who is very sensitive, those would be similar words. I would say, I mean, empathetic is not a word that gets used a lot in English. I think we probably use sensitive. It's a nice word, empathetic, but it would be a beautiful word for us in English. I think like
Okay.
I feel like I would use empathy if I went to a like a funeral or something in a situation where I want to really show
Yeah.
that I'm feeling emotion. I have a lot
Yeah.
of empathy for you.
Because you empathize with someone as well. You feel maybe you feel or you understand how they're feeling. You understand how they're feeling if you're empathetic. Okay, so maybe just we have a few minutes. We might take a look at this for the common errors. So just to go through them a little bit before we finish up. So some of these we've talked about a little bit already. So I might just read this out. And guys, if you can spot anything that looks a bit strange, please let us know, okay, while I'm reading. Please let us know if you see something that doesn't look right, doesn't look correct. Okay, so the letter. Okay, so it says, Dear Susan, I am having a lovely vacation in England. I made lots of photos. I can't wait to show you them when I get to home. Improve my English, but it is hard. I did many mistakes today. I try to read all the informations in the brochures in the museums. Sometimes I feel like I don't know nothing. People think I am fun when I speak English. It hurts. It makes me laugh to see their surprised faces when my English is wrong. Do you have any advice? See you soon, Megan.
There are a few of these that are for us are horrible. That we really don't like to hear.
Okay, so actually, just to mention, guys, so I see Rosalba said there, vacation instead of holiday. Both are okay. Both have the same meaning. Okay, so you can say vacation or holiday. They're equal. Okay, equal. A vacancy is a whole other, a vacancy. A vacancy is like an opening. An opening in something, like a vacancy at a hotel or for a job. It means they're looking for someone.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay.
Whoops, sorry.
No, yeah, there's a lot coming in now on the comments. Okay, so guys, we only have a couple of minutes, so what I might do is just to go through the corrections, if that's okay. So here we should say, okay, took. Okay, I took lots of photos. So remember, we say to take photos, not to make photos. Okay, I can't wait to show you is perfect. Okay, it means like, I am excited to show you. So that's okay.
I think someone up ahead said look forward, which is great. So I can't wait means look forward. They're both correct. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I can't wait to see you. They're both, or to show you.
Exactly.
The same thing.
Exactly, they're perfect. And then also, so we don't say to get to home, we just say, it's an exception in English, we say to get home. To get home. Exactly. Okay, really. Then also, I made. Okay, I made many mistakes. Okay, so we don't say to do mistakes, we say to make mistakes. Information. Okay, information. So remember, information is uncountable.
Mm-hmm.
a information. Okay, perfect. Then, sorry guys, I'm flying through these. Remember, we say, I don't know anything. Perfect. Julia has that. Fantastic. Remember, yeah,
Yeah.
we say, I don't know any. Yes, Annie. I think when I is like you're a person who is fun to have at a party. You're very interesting. So funny is like you make them laugh. You make them laugh. Okay. And then so it's
Thank you,
fantastic. So do
Barbara.
you have any advice? Okay. So yeah, so to advise is the verb and advice is the noun. Okay, sorry, I kind of flew through that, but we
Exactly.
were running out of time. I'm sorry.
Ah,
Okay,
we were running out of time because of the
so
great conversation.
yeah, exactly. And yes, Serena, that's perfect. You can say also, so do you have any advice or do you have any suggestions? Okay, suggestions for what I can do. You can say this too. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for your amazing
Thank you.
participation. You made it a fantastic lesson, and thank you for sharing your own experiences. It was lovely to talk to you. There will be, I'm sure, more 8 to 10 webinars, so tune in as the day goes on, and
Yeah.
hopefully we'll see you all soon.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, guys. Thank you so much. Just takes a second to end it.
I keep smiling. Permagrin.